Chapter 11, The Morning After, continued Part 2. As they arrived at the speedway, Aubrey was immediately struck by the sheer vibrancy of the scene. The racetrack stretched out beneath the morning sun, a hive of activity with engines revving and tires screeching. It was precisely as Memphis had described, a temple of velocity, each bend and straight, a pulsating vein of adrenaline. Memphis gestured toward a cluster of tents and equipment where he would be working. "I'll set up over there," he said, his voice almost lost among the roar of the crowd and the cars. "Grab yourselves a coffee and enjoy the show. I'll find you guys in a bit," he added. "Sounds good," Celine replied, her eyes already darting around, capturing the energy and possibilities sprawling before them. The sisters made their way through the bustling crowd of crew members, photographers, and racing enthusiasts. They found a small coffee cart nestled among the chaos, the aroma of freshly ground coffee beans wafted through the air, a stark contrast to the tang of burnt rubber and gasoline. "What'll it be?" Aubrey asked, though her mind was still partially on the track, captivated by the dance of the cars. "Caramel latte, please." "Make it a double," Celine said with a decisive nod. "Make that two," Aubrey said, and handed over a $20 bill to the cashier. Once they had their coffees, they found a spot on the nearby bleachers. After settling down, they sipped the sweet, creamy flavor, a small comfort among the sensory overload. It wasn't long before Hanna approached, flanked by the ever-silent twins Cassandra and Carmela, their synchronized movements eerily perfect. Hanna's energy was palpable, and her demeanor that of someone who commanded attention naturally. "I'm so glad you could make it, Celine," Hanna began, her tone effusive. "I was just reviewing some of the designs for my new swimsuit line this morning. I really think you'd be a perfect fit." Celine leaned forward, her charm on full display. "I'd love to be involved, especially if it's as exciting as it sounds." Hanna's smile widened. "Oh, it will be. You have exactly the edge we're looking for." From the sidelines, Aubrey couldn't help but feel a mix of amusement and awe at Celine's ability to navigate this world. Her sister, the perpetual free spirit, seemed to thrive under Hanna's attention, despite the underlying tension that Aubrey could feel brewing. Aubrey's amusement faded, however, when Hanna's gaze turned toward her, her eyes cool and assessing. "And what about you, Aubrey? Enjoying the show?" "Just taking it all in," Aubrey replied, her voice neutral. Hanna's look lingered a moment longer before she turned back to Celine, having dismissed Aubrey with a flicker of her eyelashes. Aubrey felt a chill despite the warmth of the sun. She shrugged off the discomfort and stood up. "I'm going to grab another coffee," she said, more to escape the intensity of Hanna's scrutiny than from a desire for more caffeine. As she walked away, Aubrey mulled over Hanna's coldness. What was it about her that provoked such a reaction? Lost in her thoughts, Aubrey hardly noticed where she was going until she almost bumped into Julian, who was watching the races with an intensity that matched the competitors. "Hey, careful there," he said with a cheeky grin as he caught her by the elbow. "Lost in thought," he said. "Hey, sorry, yes, just caught up in thought," Aubrey said. "This place is something else, isn't it?" "It's alive," Julian replied, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "It's like its own little universe, where every second counts and every moment is about pushing to the limits." Aubrey nodded, the sound of the cars a backdrop to a surprisingly deep conversation. "It's impressive," she said, her gaze drifting back to the track, where speed and precision met in a thrilling dance of danger and skill. "Stick around," Julian said. "The final races are something else. You'll see what I mean." "Well, we're here all day," Aubrey said as she turned to head back to Celine. She couldn't shake the feeling that beneath the surface, there was more to this day than just races and casual conversations. Memphis was fully immersed in his work, camera in hand, capturing dynamic shots under the direction of the event organizers. The speedway buzzed with energy, cars zooming and drifting around the track, each corner a burst of controlled chaos. The organizers were counting on him to deliver exceptional promotional photos for the upcoming main event, only 12 weeks away, and his shots were sharp and promising. Last night's uncertainties began to fade into a mere backdrop amid the day's adrenaline. However, the sudden chime of his phone cut through his focus and pulled him back to reality. He read the text from Sofia, "Thank you for coming last night. It meant a lot to have someone to talk to. Let me repay you by taking you out to dinner." Memphis' heart sank, and the words ignited a swirl of discomfort within him. He excused himself from the shoot. "Need a quick 5, he said to Cameron, and didn't wait for a response before stepping aside to gather his thoughts. As he leaned against a parked truck, Memphis considered his response. His fingers hesitated over the phone keyboard as he contemplated the right words, ultimately typing, "Glad I could help. But I should have been with Aubrey last night. This guilt is too much. I can't keep doing this." After he hit send, Sofia's reply came immediately, "I understand. But please, let's meet for dinner to talk this through properly." With a heavy sigh, Memphis ran a hand through his hair, torn. His better judgment screamed to refuse, yet a part of him sought closure. After a moment's hesitation, he replied, "Okay. Pick me up around the corner from the hotel at 7 o'clock. As he locked his phone, Aubrey's gentle touch on his shoulder startled him. "You seem on edge. Is everything all right with the shoot?" she asked, her voice full of concern. Memphis masked his turmoil with a practiced smile. "Yeah, I'm fine, babe. Just lost in work stuff," he replied. Aubrey's gaze lingered and searched his face for signs of the truth. Memphis quickly broke her gaze. "Julian mentioned a helicopter tour of the city tonight, followed by dinner. Sounds incredible, doesn't it?" he said, trying to lift the mood. The guilt intensified within Memphis. He knew he couldn't join her. "That does sound amazing. I just spoke with him and he didn't mention it, but anyway it seems a bit extravagant, doesn't it?" "Absolutely, but it's a kind gesture. We should take him up on it," he replied, eager to divert the conversation away from his conflicted feelings. "The only thing is I've got to stay back and edit these shots tonight," he said, the lie bitter in his mouth. Aubrey's disappointment was palpable, yet she managed to smile. "That's too bad. Celine and I will go then. Work can't wait, right?" "Right," Memphis replied, feeling the distance between them widen. "Have a great time, babe. Love you." "Love you too," Aubrey replied, her smile faltering as she turned to leave. As she walked away, Memphis' heart sank deeper. He watched her retreating figure, her presence a stark reminder of what he stood to lose. The last view of his phone screen, with Sofia's message glaring back, felt like a prelude to a choice he might soon regret.